I guess this is the beginning of South by Southwest 2011. I'm kind of it's here whether I'm ready or not, right? So thanks for helping us kind of get up to speed. This is a very exciting, special kind of almost pre-event. We don't often do this, but it was too wonderful to have the opportunity. If Catherine Hardwicke was going to be in town, and this film is opening tomorrow, and we wanted to celebrate it with her. And I want to bring up a very special guest, Catherine Hardwicke, director of Red Riding Hood, Twilight, 13, a lot of great films. And a text in here. Let me.
Oh, okay. Hey, everybody. Janet, thank you so much for having us here. And Janet is pretty rad to do this whole crazy festival. Let's give her another hand. Woo! Thanks for being here to support us. And also, we've got one of our stars here tonight, Sxsw Fernandez, came in town. Give him a hand, too. Come on down, Sxsw. And we've got one more fun person, Sarah Blakely Cartwright. She wrote the novel that is now on the New York Times bestseller list for Red Riding Hood.
We're not going to have a Q&A after the film because it's a little late for everything else we have got going on, although it's wonderful that you're here. But we do have time to have a couple of questions. This is a great opportunity to see Catherine in this setting. So anybody have any before we get going?
Does the wolf twinkle?
The wolf does not sparkle. We luckily didn't have to have any grown men sparkling in this movie, so we were very happy for that.
For me, anybody else? For me, it's sort of fascinating to go the range that you've worked in terms of just size and scale and kind of opportunity. So at this point, what was for Red Riding Hood? What was kind of like the new dimension for that for you?
Well, I started my first movie that I directed, $1.5 million, more like a festival film, 13, and then this one we had a budget of $42 million, but but that's still only kind of like for a studio. That's only kind of like a romantic comedy budget, and we had to do the wolf, which is not cheap, a CGI wolf, and we had like set extensions. We built the whole village from scratch up in Vancouver on stage, and all the costumes are built because we got to do a full like fantasy world. So that was really fun.
Are you still like super hands-on? Is it kind of because that's so much of your background was doing all that?
Oh yeah, I mean nowadays, to get a movie greenlit by a studio, you have to go in there with like tons of like drawings and sketches and like trailers for it and everything that you can do to try to get them excited. So before we had a production designer or anybody, I did all these sketches and paintings and so it's a lot of work to get anybody to give you money, as you guys probably know. Well, in 13 I did not have anyone giving me notes. That was pretty cool. Like no studio was telling you don't say that or don't say this, or that's that was a rated R film, so we could just make it as real as we wanted to. And then when you get into the studio world, everything changes. You do get notes, like you get a lot of executives that have opinions. Sometimes they're helpful, because they keep wanting your script to be better. And then sometimes you're like, you have to learn how to navigate, finding your creative integrity, maintaining your creative integrity in the corporate world. That's what I kind of try to figure out how to do. And then you have more money, though, thank God. I didn't have to use my own car and my own clothes. In 13, Holly Hunter, everybody wore my clothes and my furniture's in the movie and stuff like that. But, so it's really different. Like there's trade-offs, it's tough. Either way, it's tough to make a good movie, yeah.
And even managing crews and sort of you have more people that are really good at what they do, but you have to be able to lead them all.
We had, fantastic, but when you have, $42 million, you do get to hire everybody that's done their job before and done that job. They're really great. But you have the same like troubles with the schedule, I felt like. We had 24 days to shoot 13. Sarah was in that movie too, and we had 24 days to shoot it, and that was like just the crazy. I had like a really tight shot list, had to be laser focused every day, and Shyla can tell you, we had the same thing here, right? We had a very tight schedule on this.
In short, yes.
It's like, Shyla, you've got one take, you know?
Focus, dude. Focus.
Focus. That was a big one. Like, let's everybody, we've got 2 minutes. Or we had Final Frenzy, like the last 45 minutes. Everybody got a bite of chocolate, one chocolate bar, and then we just had to like attack the scenes, do the biggest
Sugar
scene
high.
you could. I think that, you know, as a filmmaker, I've done a lot of realistic movies, or, you know, try to be grounded and real, which I love doing those. But then this one, since I come from an art and architecture background, architecture UT, that's where I went to school. Yay. So I think that this gave me a chance, and I think why other filmmakers like it, it gives you a chance to do something more out of your imagination. Like we got to build the architecture of the village. We built in like architecture of paranoia into this village. Fear of the wolf. You see things built up on stilts and ladders so that at night you pull your ladder in when you're scared of the wolf. So there was a lot of cool things that we got to do in this movie that you don't normally get to do. And I think that's why. One reason we like fairy tales. Another reason is that they have some like hidden kind of meanings and layers and resonance that has lasted for 700 years. People want to be scared of the dark. They want to put a face to their fears. And you see this fairy tale when you're a little kid and you love the fact that it's scary and it's going into the dark woods, but maybe when you get to be 13 or 14, you realize there are some like sexual undertones, and she invites the wolf to meet her grandmother's. The wolf is a tranny, you know, in bed dressed as a grandmother. There's some weird stuff going on, right? So it starts speaking to you on different layers, and I think these fairy tales keep having meaning, you know, for people in some way, shape, or form. They keep getting reinvented.
Yeah, so really, thanks so much for coming out. Enjoy this movie, and it's great to see you.
Have fun, you guys.
Happy South by.